Hi everyone. So today I'm going to do some whiteboarding, and I might be good with PowerPoint, but whiteboarding always makes me feel a bit nervous because I'm not very good at drawing. But I think it's a good practice, and I've got a good idea that I would like to share. So today I'm going to talk to you about, can I write here? No. So cloud. You already see my bad handwriting. So cloud. What's the value of the cloud? Why is there cloud? Why do we talk about cloud? We all know about this, but I want to bring this back to some basic idea. I think that that might help maybe a lot of customers understand this. So if I take an analogy here, and I think about the people, the way you went to work, most of you actually just went by car and went to the office. And if you have partner, wife, or else, this person might also have come by car, and all of you have been driving to work. And then maybe the neighbor has also been going by car. And then your boss has been coming also by car. You see where I'm coming with this. And then maybe you have some hipster brother-in-law or something that actually went on a bicycle. How do you draw a bicycle? Something like this. That went on a bicycle. And then this goes on and on and on. So at the end of the day, you keep having more cars and more cars. And what does this give? This creates congestion. And if you look at this as a process, it's actually complexity. Complexity. Because everyone wants to do it in their own way, in their own vehicle. And at the end of the day, everyone needs to share the road, and it makes traffic jams. And we've all experienced that. So if you think about a business process, this is how business process evolved. At one point in the world of paper, someone invented a fax, and then they all went like, oh wow, things can be transmitted on a phone line. Computers came in, and then you started taking the paper process and moving it into computers. And so everyone wanted to have their finance system, and then you wanted to have your supply chain system, and your procurement system, and then your sourcing system, and then your CRM for your customers, and everywhere. And you have all those systems, just like different cards, because most of the time you didn't take them from one provider, different cards that you have to drive your business from point A to point B in different business processes. And some clients might have chosen for a big manufacturer, an equivalent of an SAP, to have one standard way of doing things. SAP, German company, let's take a BMW. It's a sturdy car, you know, it will last for long, it's built, you know, with high standards. Maybe it doesn't have all the gadgets that you find in other places, but then you have reliability. Nevertheless, even if you bought one in the 80s, in the 90s you wanted to change for a new version, and in the 2000 as well, and so you need to have upgrades. And sometimes if your family gets bigger, it's too small, you need to buy a bigger car. So you always have to buy, and then you get still stuck in traffic jams because sometimes you need to integrate and it's a bottleneck, yeah? So that's the congestion of the business process when it's all done on premise, on different systems. Now, the cloud, I'm going to actually be a bit blunt here, but instead of the cloud, I'm going to go completely the other way around, because if I remember in my pen is not working, so I'll use the red one. Hopefully this won't work. In 1860, I think it was 1862 in London, they built something, and I think the first one looked like this. I'm just making, you know, don't get me for exactitude here, but they built an underground system. They call it a tube. We call it subway tube underground, so I'll call it underground for the remainder here. But they built an underground system for transport, because this was not cars, it was horses. was getting so much in the way and so much congestion. It was very noisy as well. That's funny when you read history. That they decided, why not build a train but put it underground so that in the very densely populated area, people can just come here and get here or get out here. And then what happened is that this underground got connected with another line. Yeah? Once again, this is not a history course of the London Metro, but yes. And now this is called in London the Circle and District Line. It's the oldest metro system in the world. But then there was another one. And then there was maybe another one. And it's too bad my green is not working because I really, really wanted to have some green in here. But it might have gone like this. And then it became more and more sophisticated. So if I take my analogy of the business process, yes, if you think about, I need to select something, I need a new projector. I need to find it inside my procurement system and send a purchase order to the supplier. So maybe you're taking the red line here to actually find internally, have it approved, and then you're getting out here, you're sending the purchase order to the supplier. Or maybe you're getting out here, you're getting a goods receipt. And then, oh, you can switch line nowadays and you can go into finance because you're receiving an invoice. And the invoice is going to be reconciled, and then you enter, maybe like here, you enter payment, and that goes for treasury to pay the supplier. And this is the analogy that fits what the cloud is all about. Because instead of doing it all by yourself on your own, SAP, and that's a bit the idea I want to push, is SAP wants to be the world underground for business processes. Yes, the word subway for business processes, where you can just hop in and out of standard business process. And everyone says, I'm unique and I do my thing on my own way and I can never do the same as everyone else. You look at cars, I'm just saying, this is just different colors of cars and size of cars. At the end of the day, it's quite surprising when you go to several companies across different industries, how those processes have a lot of overlap. So the main processes can be very much done in a standardized way, efficient and fast, because you have capacity here. And you don't need to worry about new upgrades, new change of oil or anything like this. It's all taken care by the infrastructure itself, by SAP. And if you want privacy, you can just get in here, do your process, and just be in the subway, and then just read your book and don't talk to your neighbor. You can do it just on your own. You have security. It will not be shared with anyone. It can be just on your own, but you're all taking the same routes because it's efficient. And maybe my last point here is this I'm so special will still happen because you will have either system that already exists that needs to connect, and there is, you can't just use it as it is. So just like on the subway system, you have something very clever, which is, and then this is where my drawing will stop. Yeah, so hopefully this works, but this is a bus. And you have bus lines that actually brings you to different stations. So you can still integrate your existing system using different mechanisms to reach one of the stations of the cloud and continue the business process in there. So that at least this part will be automated and this part is still on your own. And if you think about SAP, SAP has a line for procurement. It has a line to reach all the supplier network. It has a line for supply chain in the cloud. It has a line for customers and CRM systems. It has a line for finance in the cloud. It has many lines, and it's adding more and more and more, so that at the end of the day, you can take the Metro map and you can just use it instead of having to do it all by yourself and managing everything on your own. And believe me, there is much more transport and many more people that can transit in this system than in this one. And this one is very costly. This one is to the benefit of the car manufacturers, and this is to the benefit of the end users, and your client are the end users. So, there you go. That was my analogy. Hope this was helpful. Thanks.